Hello, Capricorn. Welcome. We're jumping into your gypsy read today. If you'd like to jump ahead to the reading while I lay out the cards for this spread, it will be a 21 card spread, so I'll be here a minute laying out cards. Feel free to jump ahead if you'd like to do that. If you want to stick around and hear a little bit about the gypsy spread and how I do these readings, welcome. So the first card out that we received, the Angel Oracle card, is for new beginnings. I use these Oracle cards to kind of connect to the energy that's coming through in this reading. It's a general reading, but I can't read for everyone, so I'm going to be picking up on specific energies within the sign of Capricorn. And the energies I'm picking up on are new beginning energies. I'd like to see a little bit more from the cards to talk about what that new beginning might be. You might be somebody who's entering a new beginning, like a major life change, or seeking a new beginning. It could be either case. So let's see if the cards will give us a little more insight on what the beginning might be, or what might be hidden from you around this new beginning that you want to keep in mind while you're moving forward. So, as I said, this is a 21 card spread. We'll cover past, present, future in 7 areas of your life. If I get all reversals here, I am holding the deck upside down. That's what's happening. Don't worry. We're not 100% in reverse. These large decks, I sometimes pick them up upside down. I do read reversals, though. I think they're very important. In my way of reading tarot, I think reversals are very important. You'll see in this spread that challenges in your life will come through, and that's what we want. I need to turn this. We want the challenges to come through. Oh, look at here. Okay. The challenges give us insights on what we might be ignoring, what's hidden from us, secrets, where we could use additional inspiration and guidance. I also see, especially if we have maybe a series of future reversals, I do see future reversals as opportunities, meaning that energy is available for us, but there's something in our present path that's kind of inhibiting or blocking that energy from coming through. Look, we're seeing that here, which means these energies are available to you in these paths, but there's just something blocking it, and that's the purpose of being here, is to understand that blockage so maybe we can do something about it. Okay, we'll jump into the reading now. So the card, as I mentioned, the oracle card that we received for you today is the New Beginnings card. Now, on first glance, this seems like a marriage, right? But this doesn't have to be a marriage. It's just kind of representing a wedding card. For some of you, it may be a marriage. We have our Queen of Fire here. As a final outcome, I'm noticing how similar she is. I've never noticed her looking like she's almost holding a bouquet before. I think next to this New Beginnings card, it definitely looks very much like that. Although this is in the work position. I just wanted to point out that similarity. We've got some similarities with other cards in this deck holding something with both hands in front of them. Very significant, I think, in this reading. Clutching to something with 2 hands, that seems significant. Okay, so with new beginnings, we could be coming to the end of a cycle. We could be making a giant leap of faith in a new direction of some type. And in some cases, you could be ready for a new beginning, but you're seeking reassurance to be able to move forward in that new beginning. So let's dig into this spread and see what we think it is. It might be all of the above, depending on, who's watching this reading or when you're watching this reading. So we have a tower moment right out of the gate here, but this is behind you. So this is the tower moment. It's in your past in an area of work or prospects from work. So for me, this tower moment usually represents a job loss of some type, or maybe a business that you had a small business that you had to close and make a significant life change, maybe go back into a more traditional workforce role. It was very difficult for you. Some type of job loss. For some people, probably not very many, but for some people, this could have been having to leave like school if you were in higher education of some type, having to leave school to choose a different path. That's come up in another reading, but that could be a tower moment as well. But it's a forced beginning, right? It's a forced new beginning, a forced change, and a very difficult one that you've already been on. This is likely in the recent past. It most likely happened in 24. And you're in the mindset of moving on. You've accepted this change and are on a new path, taking a new journey. This could be part of the new beginnings here. So if you see here, we have the 6 of Air card. This is you on the new path, accepting this change and journeying forward, moving on. That's a very good place to be. A very good place to be. In a place of acceptance and moving forward. I love the 6 of Air because life is full of challenges, big and little. And when you get to that, moving on to the next season of your journey step, I mean, it's a real sign of evolution. Okay, so Queen of Fire is coming here in your future energy in the area of work. So whatever you're moving on to is actually a better fit for you than this. It's actually pulling more from your creative energy. It's helping you feel more. It will. I don't think you're there yet. That might be the new beginning that you're wondering about. You're wondering about this new beginning, if it's right for you, if it's a good fit, if you're even going to like it. Are you going to be miserable? Are you going to love it? She is holding the number 12 in reverse. I've never noticed that before. Is that number maybe significant to you, the number 12? This is something that's making her heart glow with this creative energy. And I feel that she's very rooted, very grounded in this role, in this position. It's a role that has a potential for a lot of growth and opportunity. And I'm not just talking about like climbing a corporate ladder or anything like that. I'm talking about personal growth in the role, personal growth in your own creativity, personal growth in your own ability to expand as a person, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, like feeling very, I'm getting just this very smooth sense of grounded sense of self-confidence that will grow as you grow in this new role. This is a very, very good role for you, whatever you've recently moved into. Like I said, if this tower moment, it was very difficult for you. Clearly, it wouldn't be a tower if it wasn't. But whatever it is that you were forced to move away from, based on this path here, this was a divine intervention, really. It's a blessing for you on your behalf to put you on the correct path. So this tower moment was actually a hidden blessing. Sometimes blessings hurt like the dickens. I just sounded like my grandmother. But they really do. Like sometimes those tower blessings, they'll really kick your butt. And it doesn't feel like a blessing. But this one definitely is. There's no doubt about it. 5 of water. is in your past here in the area of home and needs. So there may be some aspect of you, and it may be related to this tower moment in the past, where you were kind of focused on what wasn't going right for you. And you may have spent a little bit too much time in a season of self-pity, pushing people away, really focused on what was not going right. I mean, you would expect this to happen in a tower moment, any human. I mean, to bounce back from a huge, devastating tower moment in like 24 hours and be like, I'm fine. No, that's a psychological issue, right? No one does that. Okay, so we're not saying that this is abnormal. It's just what the cards are saying is that you were in a season that came out of this tower moment where you really weren't focused on self-care or personal needs or even like your home life. You were really focused on the negative emotions that you were feeling and experiencing. Possibly you were spending a lot of time in bed, you were neglecting your care, and you're neglecting yourself, your home life, your friendships. Very, very like ruminating on this experience, and it was kind of blocking you from your present. So I do see that that was in the past there. So this really just tells me that this tower moment was very, very, very difficult for you. And we have a five of fire here in reverse. And fives are kind of your conflict cards oftentimes. This is a five of fire. So it's in reverse, meaning you're not having to fight for your needs or fight to feel balance in your home. I do feel that you're currently in a good position. I'd like to see what else is here. I think you do have a very good, maybe possibly support system. And that's what's speaking to what's going on here, because you're not having to fight to get your needs met. You're taking the actions that you need to take to make sure that you're taking care of yourself now. So that's tied together with this six of air moving on. It may have been a slow progression, which is speaking to the fire in reverse here, but you are progressing. Making sure that you are continuing to focus on yourself and your personal needs, because we have the hangman here in this future position in the area of the home, which is speaking about possibly getting hung up again in this area in the future. You may be inclined to neglect your personal needs, your self-care, your home life when things become overwhelming for you. It's often like you put yourself on the back burner. And this is asking you to be mindful of that, to reflect on what's happened in the past. That's why it's showing me this part of your past, this response that you had to this situation, and why it's so slow here. You are healing here, but it's showing me that it's a slow healing, and this was a difficult period of time, very difficult to get to here. And we have the hangman in the future. It's showing me to tell you to watch out for that about yourself. This might be even hidden from you. We have the number 12. The Queen of Fire, I'm not sure if you can see it, in her heart is holding the 12 in reverse. And we have the hangman next to her in that future position, who is the number 12. So this is warning you that not to be so consumed by this in work that you start to neglect yourself again. It's warning you of a pattern. That's very, very clear. Very clear. So while you're in your present, because there's a lot of good here in your present, a lot of new beginnings energy, moving on from some past into a new future for yourself. Take this opportunity to try to establish some routines and habits that you maybe haven't had for yourself. Making sure it could be anything small, right? Start small. Making sure you're drinking enough water. Maybe you need to be a person who makes your bed in the morning and kind of establish that habit for yourself. It's a good mental habit to have for yourself. Maybe you're doing a new exercise routine, new nutrition, getting out into nature more, setting aside time and boundaries for kind of your self-care time, your me time, whether that's walking in nature, spending time with friends, just really establishing habits and setting those boundaries now so that the rest of your life is structured around that need. And that's one of the warnings that you're getting here. So that's some of the advice that I would take from this reading as you move forward into this new beginning. Because you can make it a whole new life beginning, not just a new work path beginning. It can really positively impact how your whole life is balanced and feeling for you. That's a really great opportunity. So we have the Ace of Fire here in the past position. This is in the area of kind of your desires. So you have very strong, passionate desires around some new beginnings. You're very inspired to start new things. This speaks to me about those of you in particular who were entrepreneurs and starting a new business. And this was really going well for you. You've had a past of bringing your thoughts into fruition, coming up with new ideas and making them happen. You have a blockage here in the King of Water in the present around your desires, how you feel, your fortune. And this is very consistent with what we've been talking about. This is the King of Water in reverse. So I'm not sure if you recall from the beginning of the reading, my philosophy on reversals in reading tarot is that these energies are available to us. They are in our lives, especially if they're talking about the future, but sometimes in the present as well. And this energy is available to you, your ability to achieve this place of, you're able to evolve into this place of kind of this steady, resilient, emotional energy. Right now, you're not feeling that. Right now, the waters are very choppy still. You are working towards change. You just haven't fully evolved into and achieved this really steady emotional energy. It may be that you need additional support in this area just to help give you some additional tools to manage your emotions in very stressful times and difficult situations. It seems that you're struggling with that at this point in time. And the reason I say this is your energy is because this is in the area of your luck and desires. Your desire is to actually be in this King of Water energy, but it's blocked a little right now. This is why it's your desire. And you also have the High Priestess here in the future, which is in reverse. So both of these are telling me that you're really seeking to make a personal change, like a deep inward change, a deep inward evolution. So that's a very good sign, because it's likely why you are seeking through things like tarot is you know that the change that you want to make as a result of the forced change is going to be much deeper than something making a job change. It's not going to be superficial. You actually want to have a deep inward change and you want to work towards that change. Right now, you perceive that your past, you were very fortunate, that your desires came to you easily. You were able to come up with ideas and make them happen. And now, but these are in a different area. This is in an area of being creative, of coming up with ideas for like work projects, things like that. So you had a lot of fortune of that in the past. You're applying that same logic to your emotional energy and your intuition, and they're two very different things. So you're being a little harder on yourself than you need to be. I don't think you need to be hard on yourself in this area. It's very good to desire to want to have that steady balance, that resilience in your emotions anytime you face difficulties. And it's also wonderful to desire to have a stronger intuition, to work on your intuition so that maybe these things don't surprise you in the future. I feel that maybe you believe that having a more connection to your emotional intelligence, your intuitive side of yourself, would maybe give you a little more line of sight on those tower moments. I do think that your desire towards this high priestess energy has to do with some form of self-protection. And certainly this is available to you. If it was not available to you, it wouldn't show up in your reading at all. It's in reverse because it's just not quite there yet for you. So there's some work to do in this area. Like I said, you could start getting some additional support to work on. I would start here, work on establishing tools to calm the storms, calm the seas anytime you're facing difficulties. That can be a first step in the right direction because if the seas are steady and calm, it's much easier to tap into your intuition, which is available to everyone, right? So I think once you work on this, you can work on this, and this will shift for you in a very good way. But it is going to take some concerted effort on your part. It's not something you can just pray for and it will just unlock for you one day. You have to work towards it. We have the 8 of Fire here in your past. So this is in an area of support for you, friendships, also in the present, Page of Fire. So a lot of energy and support around this creative, fast-moving energy, which is here. You have your fire energy here and you have your fire energy here. So the fire is this here. So the fire aspect of you, your creative side, your potential, your energy to build things, to make them happen, to bring them into reality. This is a very strong element for you. It's works very, very well for you. It's where you should continue to lean in and have the most success in your life. You're supported in that, and you know it, right? You're struggling with a little bit of doubt right now, but you need to lean back into that and know that this is here for you, this creative potential energy, your ability to bring kind of thoughts into reality, to create, to make these things happen. In the past, this was very fast moving for you. You have probably had circles of community around you, a lot of support. I'm feeling a lot of like extroversion energy around this. Yeah. You likely had one main source of support, but many, potentially up to 8 other individuals around you who are really supportive of this idea, these ideas, more than one idea. That probably helped you build here. So this was very well supported, not just in your own ideas, but you had other people around you who were very supportive of your ideas and helped you bring them into reality. You do still have the Page of Fire here in your present moment. There's a person in your life who still has this very youthful energy. They are naturally a creator. They're very artistic, out of the box, full of ideas. They're a source of inspiration for you. They haven't left you through this whole journey. Maybe they're a little distant from you right now. I think this is someone you look up to, although they are younger than you. This person seems to be connected to their high priestess energy. and has that, they kind of represent an element that, an aspect of yourself that you are wishing you could bring back. This energy here. So they represent this for you. It could potentially be a child, like your child, a niece or nephew of some type. Someone who remains inspiring to you, and that's an important element to have in your life. In the future, you have the Four of Water in reverse. So there are many cards where reversals in a specific context are important, and why I read reversals, and this is one. So we have the Four of Water in reverse. So for those of you who don't just naturally know what the Four of Water is, the Four of Water upright is a card that represents somebody who's so focused on what didn't go their way that they're ignoring a gift from the universe that's literally right in their face. They're not seeing that there's this gift that's right there in front of them. They're ignoring it. So the gift in this is, see this large crystal ball almost. In this version, she's looking right at it. And the Four of Water in reverse is about accepting that, is about not ignoring that, not letting apathy consume you. And this is in the future position of where you're supported. So I do think that you are in the future position embracing the gifts that are being brought to you from the divine, that you are divinely supported. So this is telling me it's related to this high priestess energy. If you're making these efforts, that you are going to be actively, consciously looking for those signs and gifts from the universe that are there to support you. And that's being communicated to you to just make sure you don't stop doing that. We have Empress energy here in the reverse position. This is in the area of love and romance, which is fantastic. And you also have 10 of Water here in the present position. So I do feel that if you're somebody who is has a romantic partnership, this is a strong romantic partnership. With someone who's very compassionate, but very, very strong. This person's a creator. If you're not presently in a romantic relationship, you do attract strong feminine energy. Very strong feminine energy. And you may have a bit of nostalgia for one particular energy that was in your past if you're not in a romantic relationship presently. There is a future relationship for you, potentially someone from the past coming back. And it's definitely abundant. Like it will result in a long-term commitment that both of you very, very much want. It's a wonderful partnership, really fulfilling and balanced. If you are in that season of life, it's actually a relationship that may result in children. One child. Yeah. That's wonderful. If you're in a current relationship and you may be looking towards starting a family, I do see that that's presently something that maybe you're talking about or thinking about or actively wanting to make happen. You may already have one child. In the future position, we do have the Page of Water here in reverse. So this is aligned with some of these other blockages. It's here just to remind you, like, this new love energy is available for you. This is, I think, a lot for people who are seeking new love. If you're not already in a relationship, that if you have the potential to kind of put a damper on your romantic or love relationships in the future if you're not paying attention to taking care of yourself and remaining balanced here. So this, all of this energy that's right through here in your future position is the purpose of this reading. This is what is hidden from you that's in the future. A reminder to you to not go back to any kind of energy where you're feeling sorry for yourself, neglecting yourself, those sorts of things, not pouring yourself too much into one area of your life and throwing the other areas of your life off balance. It's really just reminding you, if you focus on starting with yourself and making sure that your needs are met in all areas of your life, you're drawing that balance from the love, the support, your desires, your physical, personal, home needs, and work. So just a real focus on bringing balance is what's happening here. You have the opportunity to establish this now with this new beginning. It's a good time to start. But you have to keep working at it. It's just telling you don't get all of those ducks in a row and then just be like, okay, now everything's perfect. I don't have to put any effort anymore. That's not what's going to happen. So don't expect it. That's what's hidden from you, is to not ignore or just let things slide. We have the 7 of Earth position here in your plans or future goals. This is how you were feeling about what you wanted to do with your life in the past. You had a lot of ideas that we've talked about here already, where you really had this vision that you were planting seeds, you were growing something new, and you were going to achieve this place where you were kind of reaping what you'd sown. You were really in a place of gathering the riches from all of your efforts, your creative efforts, and what you had grown. So that was a real focus for you, and probably why this was such a difficult tower moment, because when it fell apart, everything came with it. Like your whole reality, all of your dreams, everything that you had been working towards, it went right down the drain with it. And you're presently in this messenger of air energy around your plans and goals. So you want to be very, very thoughtful, very mindful in your approach towards your future goals, which is very clear here. You're making sure you want to move very fast, though. And your present position is you want to check these boxes, make this move forward quickly. You are taking a very, very logical approach to this, which is great. It's great that you're taking a logical approach. But in the future position, we have the messenger of Earth, similar messenger. Okay, these are kind of like your knights. And these are very balanced, very opposite in many ways. While your present energy is wanting to move quickly, your future energy is telling you to move slow. So dot your I's and cross your T's, mind the details. So your present energy, you really, really want to just rip this off like a Band-Aid and move on to the next season of your journey. You are in a new beginning, but it's not moving fast enough for you right now. And your goals are to move these things along a little bit faster. That's what I'm feeling, like it's not moving fast enough for you. But I think that you're getting the message that you are where you're supposed to be. Don't move one aspect of this along too quickly, because there's still some work to be done here. There's still a little bit of work to be done here. Don't try to, rush to the finish line. The finish line is already here. This is already here for you if you continue to do the work and you are prepared to take a methodical approach. So take a methodical approach and allow yourself the opportunity to move a little bit more slowly than you want to. This is going to feel like something you want to resist. And I'm just going to say, when you feel that resistance to really charge ahead without thinking about all aspects, that might be a sign for you to take a moment and think again. Because this messenger of earth energy, this is great energy. This is, your true goal is to start planting these seeds again. And but you're building at a much higher level than you were in the past. You're planting seeds that reseed themselves and grow on their own without your effort. It's like the next level of growth. And that's going to take consistency, reliability, your expertise, your experience, your wisdom, everything that you've gained. You have that within you. You're fully capable of it. It is here in your future. It's definitely what you're working towards. Just be mindful of possible hiccups along the way. And if you're keeping an eye out for those things, you're moving absolutely in the right direction to recreate those dreams for yourself in a much better way. We have the moon here in reverse. This is in kind of your personal quest. This is my quest in my life. This is my journey. And it's been an area where you've been blocked, and not surprising to me that there is some secretiveness, something kind of hidden, a little bit blocked. The moon is one of those interesting cards, which is very similar upright or reverse. And it's really that it's really in this past position in reverse. It's like a reverse of a secret card, right? And I think what it's saying is that you were really blocked in your intuition. You were not somebody who has historically leaned heavily into the area of intuition or feeling like you even wanted to reveal a spiritual side of yourself or any types of secrets. You're very focused on charging ahead, and have a very creative energy, lots of strong potential, but you had a wall around anything beyond, almost like what you were creating or yourself, very narrow in focus. And that's what's showing up here in your past energy. In your present energy, you've had a true awakening, which often happens out of a tower moment. This is definitely an awakening reading, especially with your new beginnings energy. So you've had a true awakening. You know what you need to do to make this evolution and this change. You probably, this moving on energy and this Queen of Fire, you probably have found the new path that you are working towards, or you have some ideas and you're ready to charge forward with this completely new path. It is going to be your calling, and that's definitely come out. We talked about that at the beginning of the reading already, but this awakening, it's a real moment of awakening for you. You're in it right now, and I love being in that place of awakening. Like, look at this. You have an awakening. You have 10 of water here, moving on. You have wonderful present energy. It's energy that you have to put effort into, but it's fantastic energy. It's so good. We have the Ace of Air as your final outcome in your personal quest, which I love so much. This is a message of truth. Like, it's the opposite of this moon energy, really. I mean, you are now a truth seeker. And that is kind of your quest in this life, is to make sure you're moving forward in a mindset of awareness, of truth. You don't want to just kind of brush over anything that's hidden or in the shadows. You're truly a truth seeker. That is your personal quest here, and always charging forward with these new ideas, with this new energy, but in like this really open, wonderful energy of truth and goodness. So that's a fantastic, like, couldn't come up with a better conclusion for this entire reading for you. So, Capricorn, I do hope that this reading resonated for you in some way and that you took something from it at least. So, if you did appreciate the reading, I would really, really love a like or subscribe. Thank you.